Namaparat we are having. Just a few points about Namapasa. Means indirect chanting. Ella is another kind of Namapasa. Means neglectfully chanting the name. When we are rising from bed in the morning, sometimes we may negligently say, Hare Krishna. In this way, we may cast off our indolence. Even though it may be Namapasa, it may liberate us from our present position. But may not give us entrance into Vaikuntha. That is possible only through devotional service. One Mohammedan who was being killed by the tusk of a boar shouted, Haram, Haram, meaning this is abominable. So Haram means in the Indian language abominable, something abominable. But because of his previous sukhati or bias credits, it became Nambas. He achieved liberation by chanting the name of Lord Ram. Haram. So Namavasa may come and mukti, liberation, may be affected. But we cannot get the opportunity of service there. Only if our mind is charged with a serving attitude will it elevate us to the subtle and higher plane. Otherwise not. If the tendencies of renunciation and exploitation are mixed with our chanting, it won't yield the desired result. So the chanting must be done with a service attitude. Sevamukhi jivato. What is our aim? We want the service of the Lord. Die to live. That means die to live. If we want the service, pure service to our Lord, the old things what we are running and want to attain in this world, this desire has to leave. It has to die to live. We want a life of purity which is full of self-giving. We want a generous life. We want to live in the life of those who want not to extract but to give. So we want a civilized life in the domain of higher civilization, where everyone is a giving unit, an emanating unit, and not an absorbing unit. Means those who are attained Vaikuntha, these are persons who are not after running after give me or I want to exploit, but there is the mood there is everybody wants to give, everyone wants to serve each other and of course the Lord. Everyone is especially God-centered and harmonious. They are all of the nature of divinity. So divinity and not divinity is seen on this when we develop the attitude. Divinity, divine attitude means we have become servant. We become the servants of the servants of the servants. We are not meditating about ourselves. What do I get for it? Our chanting, our praying is always, we want something. So they are there, they only want to give something. They always want to help, they always want to, they are all of the nature of divinity. And divinity means dedication towards the center of all harmony, the absolute good. So with that spirit we are to chant the holy name. And every action should be done with devotion for Krishna. We should try to take the positive line of serving Vishnu and Vaishnava, Krishna and his devotees. With this sort of attitude we should chant the holy name of Krishna. Some thing clear? Not. In our center of materialistic people, there always I am the center. I, and then what comes the next? Family, country, and everything what I possess or may want to possess. And devotees, life is completely different. He always wants to praise for the Lord's mercy that he can do some service to him, to please him. Because this is divine life, this is eternal life. This is the difference. We have to develop this kind of consciousness, divine consciousness. Then Krishna will appear before us and we will forget everything what I think is mine. And I am important, I cannot, I have to do this, I must. No. I only decide to become a servant of the servant of the servant. This humility is not known here. On the materialistic, it is we cannot understand this. By serving others, I should become happy. How? I want that they serve me. And they want this. They want also from God. They want that he serves me, that he makes everything according to my desire. Is it not? You see, it is like North Pole and South Pole, so far. It is like day and night, darkness and light. One student asked a question about chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on beads, Japamala. He says, my spiritual master has given me many preaching duties. So sometimes when I am trying to concentrate on my Japamala, Japamala. Instead of hearing the holy name, I think of all these different duties I have to do. Srila Maharaj answering this. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur emphasized that kirtan means not only loudly singing the holy name, but preaching. Jiva Goswami has given a definition of Sankirtan. Bahubhiya militva yat kirtanam dat eva sakirtanam. When many people come together and glorify the Supreme Lord, Krishna, it is known as Sankirtan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and introduced Sankirtan. In this age of Kali, if the holy name is chanted congregationally, the combined efforts will be fruitful. Sangha Shakti Karo Yuge. There is the difference between the preaching mission of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the so-called bhajan of the Sahajiyas or imitationists. Once one of our godfather was the subject of our Guru Maharaj, just a stern remark. He was a man of good character, but his tendency was generally towards Nam Bhajan. He did not like to do any other service, but was only inclined to chant the name of Krishna on his beads. I was in charge of the Delhi temple at that time and was intimate with him. So I wrote to Prabhupada, if you permit, I would like to engage my godfather in some preaching work here in the Delhi temple. The letter that Prabhupada wrote is still here. He wrote me in his letter, if you can bring him there and make him help you in the work of preaching, then you will be doing the service of a real friend to him. I don't recognize that sitting in the jungle of Balihati, only chanting, counting beads, is Krishnanushilanam, the proper cultivation of Krishna consciousness. I don't recognize that sitting in the jungle of Balihati, only chanting, counting beads, is Krishnanushilanam, the proper cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So kirtan means preaching, Shravanam Kirtanam. Kirtan does not simply mean loudly chanting, but preaching. And preaching means there must be a fight within the opposition party. Kirtan means a fight. Kirtana creates the divine vibration which will fight with all the ordinary vibrations that are floating in this world in subtle and gross waves. So Prabhupada told us that our Tulasi Pit should not fast the Japamala. His minimum advice was that we must do some service in the form of chanting Hare Krishna while counting on beads. At least once daily. His exact words were Malika Upabhasana. The bead should not fast. And his general instruction was to preach as much as possible. Once I had a talk with one of the big spiritual leaders of the Udupi temple in Madras. He told me, sometimes I preach about Madhvacharya and the Bhakti cult, but I have no time for sadhana, regulated spiritual practices such as japa, Gayatri mantra, spiritual study, and so on. I supported him. Our Guru Maharaj said that Harikatha preaching is about Krishna, is no less important than sadhana. Rather, it is a more living thing. Preaching is more vital. When we are preaching, automatically we must have the maximum concentration. On the other hand, while chanting on our japa beads, we may be absent-minded. When we are speaking about Krishna to another person, we must be all attentive. Otherwise we cannot speak accurately. All our attention will automatically be concentrated when we talk about Krishna. And in writing about Krishna, accuracy is even more necessary than in speaking about Krishna. So writing is also kirtan. The cultivation of Krishna consciousness may even be more intense when we are engaged in writing about Krishna. So the preaching mission of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Gaudiya Math, has declared totalitarian war against Maya, illusion, and even all other existing conceptions of religion. And our authority is Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Divine love is the supreme most goal of every soul. Purity and love is the summum bonum, our highest attainment. That is the ultimate controlling principle, and not power. And beauty and love are found at their highest position in Krishna, in Vrindavan. The ultimate conception of the Absolute Truth is that of reality, the beautiful, and divine love at the same time. The difference between lust and love should be clearly realized. That should not be misconceived. The agma of dedication is demonstrated in the love of the inhabitants of Braja. So preaching Sankirtan and not counting beads, japa, is the real service of Krishna. But because we have taken a vow, and it is ordered by Mahaprabhu and our Gurudev, we must chant the holy name while counting beads. It is our duty. Our Guru Maharaj told us that japa beads must not fast. So if we engage ourselves in preaching work, there should be no doubt that we are really obeying the order of Mahaprabhu. Although he has advised us to chant 100,000 names or 64 rounds daily, that is a provincial saying. That is really all important in the spirit of service. We are not told that the gopis always count the name of Tulasi beads. Yet they possess the highest position in the service of Krishna in Vrindavan. This we have to understand. Yeah. Brajapajis, gopis, by example, they are not wearing bead bags and chanting but they have the most intense love and service attitude, because 24 hours they not have anything else in head, then how can I please my Lord? All the time, even they speak, this, whatever they do with Krishna consciousness, to be conscious of Krishna. Can he accept what I am doing? Can I offer him whatever they do, cooking, speaking? Always Krishna is in the center. So Krishna will help us gradually to go towards Vrindavan. So this regular chanting Krishna Nam, it is a sadhana. It will help us greatly to go to Vrindavan, to this state of consciousness, where spontaneous love is there. Its importance is there, like an express train. The holy name of Krishna carries us to the goal without stopping at any other station. If you are chanting the name without any formal petition, without asking, give me this, give me that, it acts like a special train that will go to Vrindavan non-stop. There the impurities of karma, jnana are absent. There the impurities of karma and jnana are absent. The devotees of Vrindavan simply sing, I want Krishna. I do not know what is good or bad. I simply want Krishna. This consciousness is there. In material world we cannot imagine this. And one student asked, how many rounds did your Guru Maharaj ask his initiated disciple to chant each day? Did he prescribe any set of number? His general recommendation was to chant 25,000 names. 16 rounds daily, or at least 4 rounds minimum. When someone had no work, he could chant 100,000 names, or 64 rounds. So, our Gurudev gives this also. One devotee, he got initiated, I was present. And you know, Arjuna, he's a businessman. Like Guru Maharaj knew, he's very busy all the time. I told this already, I think. But he gave him name. Then he told him, every day 64 rounds. Then he looked at him, because Arjuna was getting white in face. And then he said, okay, 32. And he still was impossible to imagine here at this time. Then he said 16. He looked at him. Actually, a minimum 4 rounds you should chant. You're a businessman, you're in work. So at least 4 rounds. So this is coming from our Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Student asked, would Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur give Harinam initiation to someone who could only chant 4 rounds daily? Maharaj says this. There was no such consideration. Formerly, one had to do something, some counting, but there was no rigid limitation. What he wanted from us was intense engagement in the service of the Lord, under the guidance of a Vaishnava, because the all-important point is service. Our attainment of the goal is not ensured simply by increasing the number of times we repeat the name. Only by increasing the quality will we reach success. So that's because we have to understand that chanting the name, holy name, and with mundane consciousness, it has not, it will not necessarily increase our advancement. But when we chant the name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, as a service for the Lord. I do this as a service. I may like it or may not like it. After 2 rounds, 3 rounds, that is difficult. Buddha said, go to sleep or something like that. Some experience. But we should see it as a service. It is very important. Vaishnava, our attainment of the goal is not ensured simply by increasing the number of times we repeat the name. Only by increasing the quality will reach success. So in a mood of service we have to chant and to understand automatically when we chant sincerely, the Lord will manifest in His name. There are so many sayings in the scriptures to encourage our realization of the holy name in different ways. But Srila Goswami has given us a central thought. He quotes the Padma Purana, Adasi Krishna Namatina Bhavit Kayam Indri. Our senses, physical or mental, are ineligible to come in touch with the transcendental. So our senses, material senses, or our mental senses, they have also senses mentally. With these 2 tools, physical senses and mental senses, we cannot come in touch with the transcendental plane. The name is non-material, apakritta. Non-material. A means non-material, prakritta means material. Without a mundane limitation, Vaikunta. It belongs to another plane, so nothing about Krishna. His name, foreign qualities or pastimes can be touched by our physical or mental senses. But when we have a service attitude, He comes down to us of His own accord. So this again is emphasizing that not to do our activities we can force Him down. We're doing so nice, we're chanting so many rounds, we're doing so much service. But the service attitude is missing. So he comes down to us of his own accord when we have a serving attitude. This is the most important. And not serving attitude means I serve him, but what I get back, I want something in return. This is not devotion, this is not the proper attitude, this is materialistic. Only then can our tongue really pronounce the name of Krishna. Otherwise, only the physical sound of the letters of the name can be produced. So, if this service attitude is not there, only the physical sound, or mentally the same sound of the letters of the name can be produced. Our tongue, our hands, physical sound, all these mundane things cannot come in touch with Krishna. Some intervening medium is necessary to connect this body with the supramundane. And that connection is our earnest desire to serve Krishna, to satisfy him. A bulb won't light if there is no electricity. Only when electrical current is there will the bulb be illuminated. So the name may appear on the tongue and in the ear, in the mind or in writing, but we must have the connection from Vaikuntha to this mundane world. And that connection is devotion, service, a function-serving attitude. That alone can connect the physical realm with Vaikuntha and Vrindavan. Any question on this? Anything? Clear? We know that nobody is on this level. But this one important thing is we have to know where it goes. What is the goal? How can I attain eternity and supreme love and loving relation and harmony and peace. Everybody wants this. Even fighting is there. Krishna fighting with his friends, with his closest. But this fighting is also happiness, ecstasy. There's no death, there's no old age. We hear this, but we have not attained. We are not connected with the divine realm, the Vaikuntha. What to say of Goloka, Vrindavan. So, but we should know what is the goal of a devotee. If you do not know, if you just chant mantras and we don't know why or for what goal, or you have some material goal to attain in this world, that will not help you. You can chant the name 24 hours, it will no effect. Namabhas, it goes maximum to the mukti, to liberation. Means that you get out from the circle of life and death and material, but you're then in a neutral stage. You are not qualified because we have activities there in the transcendental plane. This can only be attained through faith, complete surrender to the Lord. There's no question, we can. Did you ask question?
Yes, is that at a certain point, maybe all these troubles which occupy us, like those the one who's married, the family, the business, at a certain point these things become completely unnecessary.
Yes. If you come to this conclusion, you make a big step forward. Because you cannot say, when you go to the spiritual world, I'm an engineer, or I'm a scientist, or I'm a doctor. If you're a place where I can practice in Vaikunta, there's no disease, no old age, there's no death. As long as we have such goals, we are not fit, we have not understood. On his pastimes also something like this. Sometimes some devotees, like brahmanas, they're practicing, but they are from the heart, they are absolutely pure. They are fully surrendered to the Lord. When Krishna get headache in Dwarka, when he was there, he said, the only thing what can save me, if a devotee gives his dust from his feet on my head. Then Narad Muni was there, so many saints, and associates of the Lord. But nobody wants just to do it, because they say, if I give food from my feet to the Lord on his head, then I go eternally to hell, taking birth. Then Krishna, he played the sickness. Then he asked Narad, you go to Vrindavan and ask there. And he went and came to the gopis, and he asked, Krishna has a strong headache, he's suffering, and only the dust of pure devotees can will help him, that it goes away. And they, all the gopis, they immediately give dust and say, take this, take my, please help him. And then Narad Muni asked, you are not afraid that you are going to hell when you do this? And then said, I don't care. I may go to hell, he may send me wherever he wants, to this material world. Whatever, but if his headache is, I can help him, that he don't have to suffer. I will do everything. So this is the attitude of a real Vaishnava, real sadhu, a real devotee. Whatever may happen to me, he don't care. If I can please the Lord, then I will be happy, whatever it may be. We can close here. Jai Srila Pujapad Srila Sitadev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev Srila Jivai Bhav Guru Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Manchakalpatarubhyascha